As we journey through our golden years, we gain wisdom, experience, and a unique perspective on life. This is a time to be enjoyed, family, hobbies, and new adventures. However, with the physical changes that come with age, concerns about personal safety can sometimes cast a shadow over our independence and peace of mind. The fear of being seen as an easy target can be limiting. It might make you think twice about taking that evening walk you love or running errands alone. But it doesn't have to be this way. You have the right to feel safe, secure, and confident in your ability to protect yourself, no matter your age or physical condition. The truth is, you are stronger and more capable than you might think. Learning a few simple, effective self-defense principles isn't about becoming a martial arts expert or looking for trouble. It is about empowerment. It's about reprogramming your mind to understand that you are not helpless, and a confident posture says you are anything but. When we talk about self-defense, especially in a high-stress situation, complexity is the enemy. You need movements that are simple, instinctual, effective. This is where the concept of a throat jab comes into play. Let's break down what it is and why it works so well. A throat jab is not a complicated punch or a fancy martial arts strike. It is simply a direct forward motion with your hand aimed at the attacker's throat area. The target is the soft, vulnerable part of the neck, an area that is not protected by thick muscle or bone. It's a universal weak spot on every human body. The effectiveness of this movement comes from a combination of surprise and physiology. The throat houses the windpipe or trachea, which is essential for breathing. Even a moderate impact to this area can cause an involuntary gag reflex, coughing difficulty breathing. It is incredibly distracting and painful. Painful response is a major shock. It is about creating a window of opportunity for you to escape. Our first technique is the most direct and intuitive of the three, the straight finger jab. This move uses the tips of your fingers as the point of contact. Imagine pointing with urgency. Keep all four fingers held tightly together, straight and rigid. Tuck your thumb, pressed against the side of your index finger for support. That creates a solid spear-like hand. Make your hand as firm as possible so fingers don't bend on impact. This turns your fingers into an effective striking tool. The movement is simple and direct. From a ready stance, hands up in a protective position between you and the threat. Then thrust your hand straight forward. Think of it like a quick, sharp poke. Drive the motion from your shoulder, and from your core, not just the arm. Power comes from a sudden, explosive movement like flicking a towel. Aim for the soft notch just above the breastbone, the hollow at the base of the neck. It's fast, surprising, and painful. Let's walk through the steps. First, bring your hands up, open and relaxed, your fence. Second, as the threat gets close, stiffen your fingers. Also tuck your thumb to form the finger spear. Third, in one explosive motion, thrust forward, aiming for the hollow at the base of the neck. Immediately retract your hand back to defense. That in and out motion is crucial. Now that you understand the straight finger jab, it is essential that we discuss how to practice it safely. Remember, these techniques are for life or death emergencies only. They should never ever be used in jest or practiced on another person, not even lightly. The throat is an extremely sensitive area. Even a playful tap can cause unintended harm. Your practice should always be a solo activity. Focus on building muscle memory and confidence, not on hitting a target. Safety is your number one priority. Find a safe, open space in your home with room to move without bumping into furniture. Stand in front of a full-length mirror. Watch your form to ensure you're moving correctly. Start slowly. Assume your ready stance with your hands up. Practice forming the finger spear hand position. Make sure your fingers are rigid. Tuck your thumb securely. Feel tension in your hand and forearm. This is the solid structure for an effective strike. Repeat forming the hand until it feels natural. Next, practice the motion. Stand in front of your imaginary attacker and jab into the air. Our second technique offers a slightly different approach, and honestly, it may feel more stable for some individuals. We call this the web hand strike. Instead of using your fingertips, this strike uses the firm, fleshy area of your hand between your thumb and your index finger. Spread your fingers wide, make your hand as rigid as possible. The V shape created by your thumb and forefinger will be the point of impact. This part of the hand is surprisingly tough and provides a solid striking surface without risking injury to your individual fingers, which might be a concern for those with arthritis or weaker joints. The motion for the web hand strike is very similar to the straight finger jab. It's a direct forward thrust. However, because the striking surface is wider, the target area can be slightly broader. you are still aiming for the front of the neck, specifically the larynx or Adam's apple area. An impact here with the hard edge of your hand is extremely painful and disorienting. It directly affects the vocal cords and the airway, providing a critical opportunity for you to get away. When practicing the web hand strike, or honestly any self-defense move, having a stable base is critically important. Your power doesn't just come from your arm, it comes from the ground up. Stand with your feet about shoulder width apart with one foot slightly in front of the other. Your knees should be slightly bent, not locked. This athletic stance lowers your center of gravity and makes you much harder to push over. It also allows you to transfer power more effectively from your legs and core into your strike. Imagine you are rooted to the ground, solid and immovable. As you practice the web hand strike in the air, focus on this stance. Feel the connection to the floor as you execute the forward thrust. As your hand shoots forward, your body weight should shift slightly onto your front foot. As you retract your hand, your weight should settle back into a balanced position. This subtle weight shift adds significant power and stability to your movement. Never, ever practice on a person. The target area is vulnerable, and the technique is designed to be effective, which means it can be dangerous. Use a mirror to check your form. Another crucial safety tip is to listen to your body. The goal is to adapt these movements to your capabilities. Our third technique, the palm heel strike, shifts the target slightly for situations where the throat might be protected or hard to reach. This strike uses the heel of your palm, the hard, bony part of your hand just above the wrist. This is a very powerful and robust striking surface that can deliver a significant amount of force with a low risk of injury to your own hand. For this technique, you will pull your fingers back, away from the point of impact to ensure they do not get jammed. The hand should be open with the wrist slightly bent back to expose the palm heel. The primary target for this strike is the attacker's collarbone or clavicle. The collarbone is a surprisingly fragile bone that runs across the top of the chest, and it is not well protected by muscle. A sharp, downward strike to the collarbone is excruciatingly painful and can easily fracture it. A broken collarbone is incredibly debilitating, making it nearly impossible for an attacker to use the arm on that side of their body to grab or punch you. This strike is a true fight stopper designed to incapacitate the immediate threat and create a decisive opportunity for escape. Instead of thrusting straight forward, this motion is more of a downward chopping blow. Think of it like hammering a nail, but with the heel of your palm. Knowing these techniques is only half the battle. Knowing when it is appropriate and necessary to use them is the other, more critical half. These are not tools for resolving arguments or dealing with someone who is merely being rude. These are tools of last resort, used only when you are in reasonable fear of imminent and serious bodily harm. This means when an attacker is physically trying to harm you, grab you, or force you somewhere against your will. Your safety must be in clear and immediate danger. Your first line of defense is awareness and avoidance. Be aware of your surroundings. Avoid putting yourself in risky situations when possible. If you sense trouble, leave the area. Use your voice as a weapon. Yell, "Stop! Get back! Fire!" Shouting draws attention and can unnerve an attacker. Often a strong verbal command is enough to deter someone looking for an easy, quiet victim. You should always try to de-escalate or escape a situation without it becoming physical if you can. Your goal is to get home safely, not to win a fight. If someone puts their hands on you, tries to grab your purse, or attempts to corner you, you are justified in defending yourself. The strike is a tool to create a window of opportunity, or reeling in pain, you must move. Today you have taken a significant step toward reclaiming your personal safety and building a deep, unshakable confidence. Learning these three simple, life-saving techniques. The straight finger jab. The web hand strike, the palm heel strike has armed you with more than just physical movements. It has armed you with a plan. It has changed the internal narrative from "what would I do if" to "I know what I would do if." This mental shift is incredibly powerful and is the very foundation of effective self-protection. You are not a victim, you are your own first responder. Continue to practice these movements safely and regularly. A few minutes each day, practicing in the air while visualizing a scenario, will embed these skills into your muscle memory. This will ensure that if you ever need them, they will be there for you as an automatic, instinctual reflex, bypassing the freeze response that fear can cause. Remember to focus on your stable stance, your hand positioning, and the explosive, surprising nature of the strikes. Your goal is not to become a fighter, but to become a survivor, capable of disrupting an attack and creating the chance to escape. Let this knowledge empower you, not frighten you. The purpose of learning self-defense is not to become paranoid but to become prepared, so you can live your life with less fear and more freedom, and you have the right to protect your life with everything you have.